Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, so we'll get started.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, dear devotees, for giving your valuable association. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we'll begin.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Yashodanandana Bhaja Janaranja.
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana.
Yashodanandana Bhaja Janaranja.
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana.
Yashodanandana Bhaja Janaranja.
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana.
Yashodanandana Bhaja Janaranja.
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Munatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura.
Nitya Gora Hari Bo, Nitya Gora Hari Bo. Nitya Gora Hari Bo, Nitya Gora Hari Bo.
Harinam Sankirtan Yajna ki
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai,
Jai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bo,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, dear devotees, for joining us today. I welcome all of you. Thank you for giving your valuable association. So very grateful to all of you. Thank you. And thank you, Vikas Prabhu Vishaka Mataji, for hosting all of us in your home. So thank you for the hospitality. So today Mataji has joined. I think she is coming all the way from Marietta. She wanted some association, so she has come. So thank you so much for giving your association. Thank you, Beda. Hare Krishna.
My daughter is also your Mehak.
Okay, very nice. Yeah. So I'm glad at a young age they have interest to listen to this kind of subject, which is very nice. Otherwise, young children want to do something more and different, right? Go with what the world is doing, and they are doing completely different. So I feel very pleasure when I see youth. Like we have Priyansh, we have Kavish, and then we have other devotees joining, and everybody Mahi she's chanting right now. Look at her head. She's already had handies in the mid bag. So it's so nice. Hare Krishna. We have Avnish, who is also young and is also coming regularly. So very good to see this youth taking up this process. So thank you so much. So with that, we will begin. Continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam. So before that, we begin our Mangalacharana. Om Ajnanatamidandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovisham Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaisnava Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathavitam Tam Sajivam Tadvaitam Avadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Namo Vishnupaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanande Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachayane Nirvishesha Sundamani Pachyate Deshayane Jaya Shri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So let us get started. So here. So we continue from chapter 10. This title is Lord Krishna lives for Dwarka. He's departing for Dwarka. So we study from there. So we have covered till verse number 4, I think. Yes, yeah. My bookmark is saying verse number 4. So just quickly recap. So this is a chapter where Lord Krishna is now departing. He's going to Dwarka. So it basically talks about what's the emotion, how is the mood in the Hastinapur. All these things are being discussed, very vividly described by Sukadeva Goswami. So we'll be covering, let's try and see as many verses as we could, but at least this is divided into 5 sections. One is where Kingdom of Maharaj Yudhishthira, this description of how is Maharaj Yudhishthira's kingdom after he became the king. He is recently become a king. So how was that? That description comes. Shaunakuru is asking this question to Suta Goswami, and then Suta Goswami explaining this information. Then we talk about the Lord Krishna's attractive influences that we will see. That when he is living, how people are feeling in separation, they feel very sad. So that comes in there. Then Krishna is appropriately honored. He is given a lot of honor. You know, when a person who has come in our home, even if some guest comes in, we still honor them, right? So that is what is coming up in the section. And then this is a very beautiful section. The ladies of Hastinapur, they glorify the Lord Krishna, you know, that will come. And then Lord proceeds for Dwarka, then he departs. So that's what we are going to study. Again, as I mentioned, here nothing is mine, all is coming from our Guru's scriptures. All the scriptures, Acharyas who written translation. So I'm only reading from them and communicating back to all of you. So all the glories that may come, they may go all to Gurus and our Acharya work. And if there is any defect, it will be solely mine. So please forgive. So I just pay my gratitude to all the devotees who I listen to for preparing for these classes. And then I'm sharing with all of you. So my humble obeisances to all of them. Okay. So we're going to start with verse number 5. So before that, we'll just recap on verse number 4. So let's begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So in this verse, how prosperous the Krishna's Yudhishthira's kingdom is being described here, right? So here they have spoken about Krishna's Yudhishthira Maharaj's kingdom, that how prosperous it became when as soon as he became the king, and how he was managing so nicely. So those points are mentioned there. So it is so wonderful that how come something like this happens? Before this also, the kings were ruling Hastinapur, right? Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana were ruling, but earth was not giving so much. So what's the difference? That's a question one should ask. Oh, suddenly it becomes so good. Earth is become, is giving so abundance. It's giving abundant fruits. Rainfall is happening. All those things are happening on time. How is it? Right? This question may arise. So Sutta Goswami very beautifully describes, in the verse next time. So let's talk about that, the prosperous kingdom. So let us recite this verse. Natyaha samudra girayaha.
Natyaha samudra giraya.
Savanaspati viruddhaha.
Savanasti viruddha.
Phalanti oshadhyaha sarva.
Phalanti osadya sarva.
Kamam anvrutu tasya hai.
Anvrutu tasya.
Okay. So Kavish, can you read translation, brother?
The river, ocean, hill, mountain, forest, creepers, and natural growths in every season pay their tax quota to the king in profusion.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So this description is about the kingdom of Yudhishthira Maharaj, Hastinapur. So it says ocean, hills, mountains, forests, creepers, active drugs, means our Ayurvedic medicines and all that, in every season paid their tax quota to the king in profusion. They give so much abundance. Growth is unbelievable. Whatever they need, there was never a shortage of food grains. Right now we see in many countries there is a food shortage. Oh, we have to import from some other country because we don't have food, right? We see this is happening.
So why do you say tax quota problem?
Tax quota means because king is taking care. It's just an explanation that, okay, they give back.
Okay.
Like that. So today we see in so many countries there's a food scarcity. And they are keeping the food in the cold storage for, some calamity may come, and then they don't want their countrymen to starve. So they store a lot of food. And then sometimes it is so much that it gets rotten and they have to just throw it away, right? Because they don't have confidence that whether the crop will be good in next few years or not. And that's why they store it. But here, no problem as such. Everything is growing in abundance so much. So it is such an amazing thing which has happened. So here, though this description is given as description of Hastinapur, the Acharyas described that this is a description of Vrindavan. So every verse that we read, there is a hidden meaning. See, every word that you read in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is always another meaning. Every verse, right? So we may see, oh, it is Hastinapur description, but our Acharya Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says this is a description of Vrindavan. Because wherever Krishna is there, everything is going to be in abundance. There is never a shortage of anything, right? So we can see that this is what is happening in Vrindavan. In fact, it is mentioned by our Acharya. Whenever we see these trees, hills, river, immediately we should remember Vrindavan. When we see tree, we should think that, oh, this is a tree from Vrindavan, Kadama tree in the Vrindavan. When we see a river, we can see a water body, we can see this is Yamuna. Hare Krishna, please come. When we see the birds and people, we think that they are all grazing in the, Vrindavan. Like that, when you see peacock, we say, oh, this is a Vrindavan peacock. When we have that kind of vision, then wherever we are in America, we are in India, wherever we are, we will see Vrindavan around us. Otherwise, we will see the material world. In fact, after going into Vrindavan also, we will say, oh, this is too dirty, this is not cleaning, this dham clean, what is this? This is how our consciousness will be. But if we see that this is Vrindavan, then the Vrindavan will reveal to us. Vrindavan is not that some can see with our material eyes. We cannot see it. Okay? We can see Vrindavan through our heart. Okay? Because what is Vrindavan? Vrindavan is the heart of Radha and Krishna. Nothing else. So if you are entering into Vrindavan, that means we are entering into the heart of Radha and Krishna. Okay? So that means we have to be very careful what we do in Vrindavan, what we do in Dham, all those things. So this is given in that, so we can read the purport by our beloved Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So whenever we read Bhagavatam, we should not just go through Bhagavatam. Okay, I've finished, but we should grow through Bhagavatam. Our spiritual progress should increase day by day by reading this and thinking, wow, this is so amazing, this is so beautiful. I want to be in Vrindavan. That's the Utkanta one should get by reading. So we should grow through Bhagavatam. So here, Prabhupada writes, since Maharaj Yudhishthira was under the protection of Ajita means one who is unconquerable, is the infallible Lord, as above mentioned, the properties of the Lord, namely the rivers, ocean, hills, forests, etc., were all pleased, and they used to supply their respective quota of taxes to the king. So this is, Prabhupada writes, these are all property of the Lord. So we think this is mine, or this is mine, nothing of ours. Everything belongs to the Lord. We are making use of it. So when we use it, we should use it in the service of the owner. Like we have a maid in our home, for example. In US, it is difficult. But I'm talking about in India, when we have maid. If you see, she starts using our, whatever sabji, vegetable we bring, and she starts making her own food and just start eating. We feel, what is this? You're supposed to cook for us, right? But then we will not like it. Similarly, if we start enjoying Krishna's property for our own benefit, then Krishna won't like it. But if we use all the facility in the service of Krishna, then Krishna will be pleased. Therefore, it is not the problem to have possession. What we do with that possession, that's what matters. So that's what Prabhupada is making the point here. Now, one very important point coming here in this one. He says, the secret of success is to take refuge under the protection of the Supreme Lord. So we always have to take refuge under Krishna's. Right? Because, for example, how to take refuge? What is the way to take refuge under Krishna's lotus feet? What is the best way to do that?
Surrender.
Surrender. Yeah, chant. Somebody said chant, right? Yeah, Mata said chant. Yes, chanting. Because when we chant, what Krishna says? In Hindi they say, right? That tu mere naam mein, means if you are chanting my name, main tere kaam mein, then I'll help you, whatever you're doing, I'll make time for you. And tu apne kaam mein, means if you are busy with your own work, to main mere dham mein, then I'll be in my abode. Okay? So tu mere naam mein, to main tere kaam mein, tu tere kaam mein, to main mere dham mein. So that's how it is. If we are practicing Krishna consciousness, then our life becomes very easy. Easy in the sense that though obstacle will come, but we will be able to overcome and understand why they are coming in. But if you don't, then we will see that life becomes very difficult. Even in the chanting, if we have finished our sadhana very beautiful in the morning, you see the day goes very beautiful. You feel that, oh, it's 8 o'clock, but I still have so much time left. I can read something. You are able to finish things faster. the day our sadhana is not good, what happens? There's so many obstacles, so many challenges comes. Whole day is busy, 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 busy. And there's no time to read, no time to do anything extra activity. This happens. I have personally experienced this. When we don't do our sadhana in the morning, the whole day is very difficult to chant. Even one round chanting looks like I'm spending 1 hour on that. In the morning, it happens so smooth. It's very fast. So therefore, the point Prabhupada is making here is that we should always take shelter of Krishna all the time. See, think about this point. For example, there is a small child, right? A child wants to climb on father's shoulder. Now, the child is very small, and he is trying. It's very difficult for child to go up, right? So that's like a karma yoga. But child says, Daddy, just cry, Daddy. What do you do? You just lift it and put it on his shoulder. That's it. That is bhakti yoga. So we have to completely surrender to Krishna. Krishna, I'm yours. Please take care of it. And that's it. Krishna will just lift it. And that's it. So Radha Govind Goswami Maharaj, he gives a very wonderful example. He says, if you try to take a car and go on your own, then you will be stuck in a traffic, right? So it's like material world. We get stuck. You try to do on our own. But you surrender to Krishna, you'll be airlifted and there's no traffic, right? So that's why we should surrender to Krishna 100%. We do our work by surrendering to Krishna. Like Arjun, Krishna told Arjun, you have to do your duty. But remember me while you are doing your duty. That's it. You don't have to forget me. You don't have to just keep chanting my name and then don't do your activity. No, that he is not saying that. Krishna is not saying that. Krishna says you do your work. Your prescribed duty must be performed. But remember me at all the time. And that way you will come back to me. So therefore, when we chant, we chant. When we read, we read. We do one anga at a time. When we are doing bhakti, one anga at a time, but fully absorb in that 100%. Give our 100% in that, and that will be our success. Right. So further, Prabhupada is right. Without his section, nothing can be possible. Many times we feel, oh, I worked so hard. That's why I got this promotion. I worked so hard. That's why I got these good grades. Of course, our efforts are there, and those must be done. We cannot just discount those things. But what's happening is that when Krishna gets involved, all the issues will solve. So I'll tell you an example. I know you know this. What's it? Madhva's rock band. Most of you might be hearing him, right? So I'll tell you. I don't know you know about it, but I'll just tell one thing. So when I don't know his name. What is his name? The boy who sings.
Navakishore.
Navakishore. Yeah. So he was not initiated at the time. Initially, that time this is a story. So in India there was something called Indian Idol and all that. That people will sing and then they will be voted and things like that, right? So he was, he was like a rock singer. Initially in his days, he was not in Krishna consciousness before, but he was in rock singer and all that. His wife got into Krishna consciousness and it was, she practiced. So then when they went for audition in Delhi, they used to live in Chandigarh, they came to audition in Delhi. And then what happened? There was so much rush. The thousands and thousands of people, aspiring people who would say, I want to become Indian Idol, and I can sing well, all those things. Thousands of people were there. And he thought, I'm here, where will I get chance? There's so much rush. What's the problem? And at that time, he was barely chanting one round. His wife told, no, you have to chant one round. And he said, no, you have to chant more. 16 or 1 is not enough. Like that, she used to chastise him. But he was chanting just one round. And then somehow he prayed intensely that if I get into Indian Idol, then I will chant 16 rounds. I will chant 16 rounds. That's all. And it's like something will happen. He just prayed that. Now then he went and asked, desk, okay, how much time and all the stuff, what will happen, when will turn will come and all. He was going to inquire. When he went to inquire, suddenly some commotion happened near the entry gate. Everything got shuffled and the kabuki, all those type. And suddenly he found himself first in the row. He was like nowhere, but because of all these things happened, he was first in the row. And he was taken inside. He got an entry. He was selected for the next round. So while going back, he has to chant. He started chanting more rounds. The wife asked, what happened? No, because I prayed and then this what happened. So I started chanting. You see, so when we completely surrender, say, Krishna, I will do this for you. Even material desire. See, even material desire, Krishna will fulfill. Because Krishna sees, if I fulfill this material desire, will he become more Krishna conscious? Will he advance in spirituality? Then he will fulfill our material desire also. So even if you have to ask something, ask to Krishna. Why go to some other demigods and all? Not required. Right? Because when we give water to the roots, the leaf and flower and fruit, everybody gets it. So we don't have to worry. All demigods are like that. So we just take care of the roots. So that's what Krishna is. Right? So we all have to do this, completely surrender to Krishna and see the magic. It will happen automatically. We will not even realize. It will happen. Trust me. Because Prabhupada is saying, not me. Okay. To make economic development by our own endeavors on the strength of tools and machinery is not all. So let's take an example here. Economic development. Like Srila Prabhupada, what he had when he came to America, he had nothing. Right? He had probably 40 rupees, which is like $6, $7. He had nobody he knew, right? But still, because he was completely surrendered to Krishna and he was completely relying on his mercy, in 10 years, he was able to build 108 temples. Now, all of us, we are much younger than Srila Prabhupada. We have more money than what Prabhupada had. Can we all come together and build that many temples in 10 years? Possible? Even one temple will not be possible, isn't it? And that too, they are sustained for so long. Even after his death, is still there. They're all, after 56 years, the temples are still vibrating and there are more and more devotees coming in. How is it possible? Because there is Krishna's hand in that. So therefore, Prabhupada is making all these points very, very nicely. That unless we completely surrender ourselves to Krishna, things don't happen. The sanction of the Supreme Lord must be there. Otherwise, despite all instrumental arrangements, everything will be unsuccessful. Everything will be unsuccessful. We might see materially people are prospering and all that. Is that a success? No, it is not. Look at all the, who are very rich people and all that. They are committing suicide. They are taking to drugs. They are getting into so many problems in life. But people do it that way. Like many times, we work so hard that we sacrifice our health for the wealth. And then after some time, what we are spending wealth to regain our health. That's a lost business, isn't it? That's not a right equation, isn't it? We should be in good health all the time so we can do our bhajan nicely. So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning here. That whenever we read any verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, immediately our reflection try to see that, can I see Vrindavan through this? Because all this beautiful, look at this, Nadya, Samudra, Giraya, and these are all in plurals. Means there are so many of them, and they were all giving things in abundance. In fact, they were giving in such a way that not as per season, but they were giving as per Yudhishthira Maharaj's season. Meaning, whenever Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted certain thing, they will come. This is the power. It is not that, okay, only in winter apple will come. If Yudhishthira Maharaj decided, okay, I probably wanted apple in summer, apple will come at that time. This was the power at the time. So, so this is the power of a pure devotee. When the Yudhishthira Maharaj was completely surrendered, Pandavas were 100% surrendered to Krishna. There was no question about it. And therefore, even the Dharti Mother Earth was giving this in abundance. Right? So, in fact, in the Vrindavan, all the seasons would actually they come as per Radharani's mood. Where Radharani in separation, even her heart is very, very aggrieved and she's like burning in the fire of separation, then there's a lot of heat that comes summer. Summer comes in. And when the separation is too much, that she's crying, to douse the fire. And she's crying profusely so much so that the fire is still there, but she's crying so much that comes rain season. So if you go to Vrindavan, if you haven't been to there, if you see the summer is very hot, very, very hot. If you are, sometimes you just cannot even go out. If you are in May and all that time, you have to be inside because it's so hot outside. All right. And then when you go in the winter, it's very cold. So when the separation intensity increases further, she's like, cannot take up. So her hair stands on end. She's feeling shivering. Her voice is choking because she's remembering Krishna. So then the symptom of winter comes, and that's how the winter season manifests. So all these things are coming of Radharani's mood at the time. In fact, Indra Prabhu says that if you drink water in Vrindavan, it is a little salty. If you drink direct tap water, it's a little salty. Okay. And he says it is salty because of the Radharani and all the gopis, they cried so much because the tears, it's gone inside and now it has become salty permanently. So in Vrindavan, wherever you see water, it's a little salty. So the reason that is our great Acharyas gives is because all the gopis cried so much in separation that all the water has become salty. Because if you see your tears, your tested animal, it's salty.
That's what my question is also.
Yeah. If you cry, you just taste it, it's a little salty. So this is how it is, Vrindavan is a dham, it's a Chintamani dham. So we can do that. So it's so wonderful. Yeah. So that's what this verse is telling. Whenever we read a verse, we should remember Krishna or and Vrindavan. Yeah, this is what we just talked about it. So what we can take away in this verse? Two things we can take away, right? One is that every verse in Srimad Bhagavatam gives us a hint inside Vrindavan. It says, okay, this is how we can enter Vrindavan. This is how we can see Vrindavan. And second, Maharaj Yudhishthira was able to tap in all the resources. Why? Because he was a pure devotee. So this is the power of a purity. Prabhupada, pure devotee. See how much he has achieved. With collectively, so many people come together cannot achieve this. Even building a one temple, so difficult. There are so many roadblocks, issues, fight among people, management, so many things comes up. But Prabhupada was able to build, no issues at all. Everything, problem came. It is not that, problem did not come in Prabhupada's way. They came. But Prabhupada was also given intelligence by Krishna, so he was able to solve them and overcome them. And so many people donated so many things. Okay, Prabhupada, I'll give you this. Bhaktivedanta, if you go and see in London, such a beautiful place, it will be in millions of dollars, but it was given free to Srila Prabhupada by Beatles, so by George Harrison. So like that. So when we completely surrender to Krishna, things happen on its own. It will be like a cruise. In fact, when Prabhupada came first time from India to America, Atlantic Ocean, when he crossed, it was so smooth that the Captain Pandya, he told Prabhupada, we have never seen this Atlantic Ocean ride to be so smooth. There is always difficulty when we cross this. Prabhupada says, Krishna is taking care of this boat. When Prabhupada is there, so Krishna is driving, and there was not a single problem in this whole journey in Atlantic Ocean. So Krishna takes care. Krishna will take care. We have to have the trust. That's what it is. Okay. So we have to give up certain things for Krishna, right? We have to give up. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. That's what we read in Shikshastakam. But we have to really mean those things, right? So let's say, please give me examples in Shastra. Who gave up relationships to achieve Lord? Various relationships they have given up. Gopis give up, yes, okay, wonderful.
Prabhupada himself, right?
Huh?
Prabhupada himself,
Prabhupada gave up, yeah, family, okay.
family life.
Yeah. Prahlad Maharaj gave up what, Maharaji?
His father.
His father, yes. I want that relationship to be told. Okay. Prahlad Maharaj gave up father. Okay. Gopis give up. Mirabai.
Family, right? Husband.
Family, yeah. Yeah, husband. Yes, okay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yes. He gave up his. He was in such a materialist condition. Very, very difficult to give up. Like he has a young wife and an old mother. Imagine if you have this situation in life, can we give up family? Oh, who will take care of my home? My wife is young, but he still gave up. So this is was Lord. Yeah, any other example?
Raghunath Swami in Journey Home, at one point he gave up opportunity for a relationship to continue to.
Yes, of course. Those things are there. Anything from the scripture? There are many examples. We can go to many scriptures, Ramayana, wherever we can go, we can find something. Huh? Vibhishan gave up what? His brother, yeah. Vibhishan gave up his brother. Correct, and he got Lord Ram. No, Lakshmana, no. Dhruv Maharaj, yes. Dhruv Maharaj gave up what? His mother. He gave up his mother. Right, very nice. Okay, let's go with that.
Radharani herself.
Huh?
Radharani herself.
Of course, the gopis are Radharani includes. Gopi means Radharani included. So Prahlad Maharaj, he gave up his father. Then Bali Maharaj gave up his guru. Guru told not to give charity, but he said, no, I'll give. So Guru, he gave up his guru. Then Dhruv Maharaj gave up his mother. Then we have Vibhishan who gave up his brother. Gopis give up husband, family, right? So these are the examples. See, we have to. Yes. Why do devotee give up relationship?
Why do devotee has to give up the
Has to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if a very good question. So she's asking this question at this age. At this age, I'm not even reading Bhagavatam. I'm so happy. Yes. So devotee gave up relationship because they understood that our final ultimate relationship is with God. That's the ultimate relation that one should have. That's the most purest and the real relationship. All these are temporary relationship. Husband, wife, mother, father, all these are temporary relationship. So if you want to achieve Krishna, we can focus more on Krishna, but we don't have to give it up at this point in time. We still have a lot of things to do. So first educate yourself, be in your shelter of your parents and follow their instructions. You're chanting very nicely, so keep doing that. And when you get the intelligence to do it, then you can think about it. But right now, you be in the family. Okay? Don't give her wrong ideas. Yeah, because Dhruv Maharaj left at 5 years. She's around that age, you know. Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, they all 5 years. Like that. Okay, maybe next time I have to change some questions, you know. Challenging for devotees. Because I see now kids are becoming smarter, they're asking these kind of questions. But yeah. Is that okay, Mahi? Yeah, okay. So we can remember Krishna even by being in the relationship. That's okay. Like, you know, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had 11 children and he had wives, but he was doing bhakti very nicely. So no problem with that. Yeah. But it's just example. So there are both types of examples. Those who gave up relationship, those who stayed in relationship and still achieved the perfection. Both are there. So there's nothing like that we have to give up on it. Okay. Let's go to verse number 6. So Yudhishthira, now earlier we saw the earth was very giving abundance. Now here it will be described what the subjects, all the kingdoms, the citizens of the kingdom were very happy. That's what he described here. Verse number 6, yeah. Nadayo vyadaha klesha Daiva bhutatma hetavah Ajata shatrava abhavana Jantunam ragni Karhichi.
Jatu
Okay. Who wants to read? Yes, Akshaj. Hare Krishna. So, what is this being discussed about? Mental agony, disease, or excessive heat? What is this?
No
problems, no
Come up with
Ah,
everything is
yeah, there is. What is it called?
Rajas.
Nah.
Miseries.
Miseries, threefold miseries.
Yeah.
Threefold misery which comes in our life, right? This is how Adhyatmic, Adi Bhautik, and Adi Daivik. That's what it is. So, can you imagine when the Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling, this thing was gone. Nobody was falling sick. Nobody had any issues. No earthquake, no flood, nothing of that. Everything was proper. I mean, see, that's what happened when a pious king rules. This local place on this material earth can also become like a Vaikuntha. So, therefore, a king should be very pious, and then things will happen in the right order. If the king is impious, corrupt, and all that, which is there in today's politicians and all that, they are very selfish in nature. So, how can there be peace in the country? So difficult, very difficult. But this is what is there. We can imagine. Yes.
One question. So what about like animals like mosquito, has to suck blood, or like even the lion has to eat, meat. So how is it?
No, so that is, it is, yeah, so it is for the subjects. The animal, that cycle will continue. That nobody can stop. That will continue. That, the lion has to eat goat or whatever it is. That continues, right? For the human being, this is for us. As a human being, they are freed from all these three things. So that was the power of a pure devotee ruling that kingdom. So therefore we have to choose the leader. We have to be very careful whom we are giving votes. For example, is it the right person? Now today it is very difficult to find. At least give somebody who's less evil. That's what you have to find out. You can't find the 100% pure, but at least out of so many people, who is the less evil? Probably we can think of that, right? So yeah, so let us read what Prabhupada had. Prabhupada is very wonderful purport. So we'll go through this. To be non-violent to human beings and to be a killer of enemy of the poor animals is Saturn's philosophy. What is Saturn's philosophy? Is like a demoniac nature. That, yeah, you will take care of all the human being, but when it comes to animal, you will not treat them like humans, like a living being, right? You will kill them, right? So once, Adigar Prabhuji gave this example in one of his class, and I'll just repeat that because it is so apt here. So he said, when he was working, I think in Alabama, many years ago when he was working in Alabama, one of his physician, she came to him and he says, can you sign this petition? So he asked, what is this petition all about? He says, this petition about, and the Hollywood movie was made in which a dog was made to swim upstream to save his owner. And the water was freezing cold. He said, this is cruelty. How can they do it on a dog? This is cruelty. So we are going to sue this Hollywood director and producer for this. So can you please sign this petition? And it was running on Facebook and all that. So Adigar Prabhuji said, yes, I can sign this, no problem. But can you also create a petition that, all this killing of cows and, goats and chicken and fish and all that can also be stopped, because they're also living beings, right? And he told him in a medical term, because she's also a doctor, so she can understand. He says, dog also feels pain, right? Do you think the cow feels pain? She says, yes. The goat feels pain? Yes. They have life? Yes. They have the fully developed nervous system? Yes. Then why do we have to kill him? In this movie, there are seen people are eating hamburger and all the steak and all that. So why can't we just create another petition? So she said, okay, I'll think about it. So she went, and in the evening, she unfriended him on Facebook. because she sent a request on Facebook. So she unfriended him. So this is hypocrisy. Oh, I will do everything for my dog, but then I will eat, other animal. What is that? This is Satan's mentality. That's what Prabhupada is pointing out. So we have to be equal to all the living beings. All living beings have a right to live. So we should not kill animals. So we have to be careful with that. And here Prabhupada further writes, which will describe the today's situation, very, very apt. In this age, there is enmity towards poor animals, and therefore the poor creatures are always anxious. The reaction of the poor animal is being forced on human society, and therefore there is always the strain of cold or hot war between man, individually, collectively, or nationally. Isn't the situation of today? Prabhupada wrote this many years ago, but still this is happening today. Because see, when a living being is hurt, right, the implication is there not by just that person who is hurting that animal, but if that person is doing some service and if everybody else is utilizing that service, they all will be implicated. That means all of us are getting implicated by this, because we drive on a road which is laid by a person who eats cow. We go and shop from a shop, where the owners and the worker are eating meat. We buy from them. There is no safe place, right? So we are getting implicated for sure. Because little, of course, that person will be getting more sins, but we all are taking some sins for sure. So how to avoid this? We have to remain in Krishna consciousness, pray for that, offer food to Krishna before we consume also. These are the ways we can protect ourselves. But those who are not practicing Krishna consciousness, they are directly implicated. And therefore, when we see the earthquake happening, tsunami happening, and collectively so many people are, because that is a collective karma which is impacting. Of course, people are dying is not good thing. When the life is lost, it's a loss. But the karma works in this way. It's very difficult to understand how the karma works, but we see the result of this is coming from these kind of actions when people take. When the war happens, it is because of that. People are fighting. The family, they're fighting. Brothers are fighting. The son and father are fighting. These fightings are happening. Neighbors are fighting. All these things. There are quarrel all the time. So why it is happening? It is because of this
Pandemic.
Yeah, pandemic, absolutely. Everything is connected. Everything is there. See, if Krishna has to take care of this world has to be taken away, we have seen Corona came and millions of people left their lives, right? So if Krishna has to finish all this, he doesn't have to do anything. Just one small while and gone, everybody is gone. What will you do? Nothing. So we think we have done so much advancement in medical and technology and all that. Those will not save us. Those will not save us. Because if Krishna wants to save, then nobody can kill. But if Krishna wants to kill, nobody can save. That's what it is. So we have to always take shelter of Krishna. At the time of Maharaj Yudhishthira, there were no different nations, although there were different subordinate states. The whole world was united, and the supreme head, being a trained king like Yudhishthira, kept all the inhabitants free from anxiety, disease, and excessive heat and cold. There were not only economically well-to-do, but also physically fit and undisturbed by supernatural power, by enmity from other living beings, and by disturbance of bodily and mental agonies. There's a proverb in Bengali that a bad king spoils the kingdom and the bad housewives spoils the family. This is a very important verse for everybody to remember this. A bad king spoils the whole nation, and the bad housewife will spoil the family. If you see the very, very great people, the mother had played a very wonderful role in their lives. Like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he was raised by his mother, Jijabai, and how he has come, right? So mother plays a very great role in upbringing of the child. Therefore, when a child is not innocent, they will always say, nobody, what your mother taught you. They will not say what your father did. They will say what your mother taught you. Something like that they will tell you, right? Always goes on mother. So mother has to be completely surrendered into Krishna consciousness, and then she can raise the children amazingly well. right? So that's what the point is being made, because mother has so much control in the whole family. She cooks food. Now, if she cooks very nice prasadam without onion garlic, even if husband wants to eat, he will not even know, because wife has made it so nicely. She can offer it to Bhoga and then offer it to everybody. Everybody will honor prasadam. And she has a full control. So therefore, the housewife means a woman has to be very, very pious. This truth is applicable here also, because the king was pious and obedient to the Lord and sages, because he was no one's enemy, because he was a recognized agent of the Lord and therefore protected by him. All the citizens under the king's protection were, so to speak, directly protected by the Lord and his authorizations. So if king is protected because he's a devotee, everybody gets that shelter. Krishna is protecting Yudhishthira Maharaj, so everybody is protected by indirectly, isn't it? So this is so wonderful. So if a head of a family is protected, whole in the family also gets protection. Therefore, we have to practice Krishna consciousness very, very sincerely and seriously. Now here, Prabhupada writes another point. See, unless one is pious and recognized by the Lord, he cannot make others happy who are under his care. Very important point. If somebody, the head of the family or country, if he is not pious, how can he make his subjects and the family members happy? Not possible. It is not possible. Right? So this indicates that we all have to be very sincere in whatever practice that we are doing and become more and more fixed up into our sadhana. Otherwise, just we read, right, you know, tu tere kaam mein, to main mere dham mein. So he will not be there. He will do his work. Then we will have miseries, we will have problems in life that will keep coming. Devotee doesn't mean the problems will go away. Please remember this. You know, the problem will not go away, but we will elevate ourselves in a higher consciousness that we will not see them as a problem at all. See, Prabhupada has written one wonderful quote. I know Ram Prabhu and Bilas Prabhu sends quote every day by Srila Prabhupada and Radha Govinda. I hope you are reading it, because they do so much effort in putting it, right? So I'm going to read that quote which was sent on 5th of October. See, Prabhupada writes a very, very beautiful point, and this is what we all should understand. Prabhupada writes on 5th of October, he spoke to that in Kolkata 1971. He says, if one is situated in real Krishna consciousness, he can face the most severe type of adversity and remain completely undisturbed. This is what it is. We see so many of our Guru Maharaj. They are having so much health issues. But do they care? No, they are traveling. Look at Jai Pataka Maharaj. He has got, I mean, what all you call it. At body level, he is having so many diseases. But look at his joyful. He's like dancing. You know, you want to give, when we went to Sadhu Sangha in Dallas, he's like on the stage and he's like, oh, you want to bless everybody. It's unimaginable. I mean, if you have that health condition, we would probably not even travel. He said, no, I'm good in this sofa. Don't move me. I'm good. That's what it is. They have pain, but they don't even feel it, because they're already gone. They have detached themselves from this body. They're still, the soul is still in the body, but they have detached themselves. That's what Prabhupada is saying here. And that's what is mentioned here in the purport. So we have to get completely, if we are getting disturbed by the surroundings and environment and everything, that means we still have to elevate ourselves into Krishna consciousness. This is the meter that we have to measure ourselves. Am I getting disturbed by surrounding? Am I getting disturbed by what's happening in my life? Then I have to raise my consciousness. It's very important. So so that's what we have. So we have to not just go through Bhagavatam, we have to grow through Bhagavatam. We have to read, understand, implement these things in our life, and see our life will change. Very, very different. We will see ourselves very different in 5 years if we read if we study. I will not say read. We'll study the scriptures. We have to study scriptures. In fact, I have a book. You know, if anybody wants it, they can take it up. I read it. You know, this is very nice. This studying and teaching scriptures. by Gauranga. Very beautiful book. I read it whenever I get time to see how to read this book. Very beautifully written. These kind of things we have to have handy whenever we need, and read few pages. Immediately we'll get some knowledge. Immediately. Whenever Avyartha Kalatam, we should not spend even a moment in doing something non-Krishna conscious activity. Non-Krishna conscious activity meaning our duty is required when we do it, like cooking is required, we go to office, all these things are there. But then anything other than that, at that time also we keep thinking about Krishna, because I'm going to earn this money, I'm going to give it use it in the service of Krishna. I'm cooking, I'll offer Bhoga to Krishna, and then we'll honor Prasada, like that. So that way those activities are also Krishna conscious activity. But anything beyond that, then that is not Krishna conscious activity. We should immediately bring an alarm saying that, oh, this is not right. I shouldn't be doing. I should not be wasting a moment. Even if you have 5 minutes, we can read this. We see great devotees like Radheshyam Prabhu. He always carries a small pocket book in for reading. And whenever he's waiting for somebody to meet, or he's waiting at the airport to get into queue and all the stuff, he's just starts opening and reading it immediately. Even in 2 minutes, we can read one small page, and that might change our life. One thing can change our life, dear devotees. It is so important. Reading is so important. Those children who read, from very young age, who get absorbed in reading, they'll become amazing personalities for sure. Amazing. So we have to read. And then as we grow, we have to start studying, getting reference from multiple scriptures and see what it's being told here. Because just by reading this, we will not understand all these things. But when you cross-reference and see other things, it becomes very helpful. So where were we? Under this care, yeah. That is full cooperation between man and God, and man and nature. And this conscious cooperation between man and God and man and nature are exemplified by King Yudhishthira, can bring about happiness, peace, and prosperity in the world. So this is all connected. We should not think that this is not, this is all interconnected, dear devotees. So this last line is very important. Please pay attention. The attitude of exploiting one another, the custom of the way, will only bring misery. If you try to exploit it, if you try to impound others with our authority and power, then that will not go well. Like, for example, custom of the day means what? I have to do my duty. So let's take an example in temple. So there is in our temple, we start class at 4:30, 5:30, it has to end, 5:30, 5:45, 6 o'clock, Aarti, and then Prasad and all the stuff. Now somebody is giving beautiful Harikatha. The speaker is absorbed in Harikatha and is speaking. And temple management is getting restless. We have to make announcements and all that. But devotees are absorbed, the speaker is absorbed. What's the difficulty? Let it continue for some more time. In 15-20 minutes, nothing is going to get lost, right? So let it continue. But sometimes, no, we have to stop. It's like, So is that a service or a disservice? It's a disservice, because Harikatha is above the management rules and regulations. I'll give you one pastime. Radhanath Singh Maharaj, he took about 2,000 devotees on a yatra. And it was in Jagannath Puri Yatra. So he took devotee in Remuna. Okay, anybody knows what is Remuna famous for? Remuna pastime. Khirchor Gopinath, you remember? Okay, that happened in Remuna. So Madhavendra Puri was given a khir by the Lord Gopinath himself. So we'll not go into the pastime, but we'll just talk about this story. So when the devotee went to Remuna, so the plan was that 3:30 Maharaj will give lecture, 1 hour lecture, and 4:30 the devotee will get into bus and then come back to Jagannath Puri. That was the plan, because the program will start next day morning 4 o'clock. So everybody should need to get rest. So Maharaj started speaking. 3:30, 4:30, 5 o'clock. Like, so organizing brahmachari is getting restless. Oh, it's getting late, And they're looking, they're telling all these bus drivers, because there are hundreds of buses, 2,000 divided means hundreds of buses were there. He says, they have to pacify them. Okay, we'll leave. You have to manage on both the sides. So they were trying to do that. And 5:30, 6:30, and it was going on and on and on. And then 7:30, the class was just going on. Maharaj was absorbed in the katha, in this whole creature Govinda. He's so absorbed. Then he said, and then he came to a point where the Madhendra Puri is given kheer, by the what do you call, the priest of the temple. He says this is sent by Gopinath himself, and he gives. Madhendra Puri is crying in that, and he's sharing this pastime. So then he says, ask the organizer, have you also arranged for a kheer for devotees? He says, yes, Maharaj, we have arranged for, one pot is there in every bus. So once the class is over, we can, everybody can get into the bus, and we'll give one spoon to each one of them. So say, no, please get them here. He said, please get them here. This is the place, this is the dham. We should honor it here, where Madhendra Puri ate the kheer. So he says, okay, they got it. Okay, now distribute to everybody. 2,000 devotees. It has to be distributed. One spoon, little. Then he started giving. He said, Maharaj said, don't eat, everybody. Please wait. We all will do it together. So everybody will serve one small morsel, Then he says, now, remember that this kheer has come from Gopinath, and it has been given to Madhendra Puri. It is tested by the Gopinath. It is his Adharamrut. Now we are going to test it. Just feel how it is in your hand. And now you take it and honor it. Put it in your mouth. Don't eat it. Taste it. How beautiful it is. And then everybody took it. And it was like ecstasy. Everybody was so amazing. And then the organizer came, Maharaj, okay, now we are done. So, okay. No. Now we are in the dham. After Harikatha, there should be Hari Kirtan. Get me harmonium. He got harmonium. And Maharaj started singing Kirtan. 1 hour Kirtan. 1 hour Kirtan. And 1 hour Kirtan going on. And this organizers are getting really restless. It's like 9:30, it's like 9 o'clock. Maharaj, we have to finish this. And then after that, when the Kirtan got over, then he said, now we will have dancing Kirtan. Because, he says that when we sleep and remember chant Krishna, then Krishna is sitting next to us, right? When we stand and do Arati, Krishna is next to us. Krishna is next to us dancing. But when we dance in Krishna's Kirtan, Krishna will embrace us. So he says we should dance. So then dancing Kirtan started for half an hour, another. And by the time it got over, it's like, by the time we were to reach the hotel and all in Jagannath, it was like 10:30 late. And like all the organizers were like, what to do? Should we chastise Maharaj? Because that will be like big offense to, Guru Maharaj. So they said what to do. They feel happy about it, sad about it, like very confused about it. But it all went. And what happened? After the yatra got over, all the devotees are requested for a feedback, that what to improve, and then one question was that, what was the best thing about the yatra that you liked the most? And unanimously, everybody said the time that is spent in Remuna was the best. Though it was like overtime. No, see, from the point of view that, we did not honor time, it was late and all, but look at from the Harikatha point of view, that you are so absorbed, you are in the dham, you are talking about the Lord who is in dham and who has done the pastime. It's so amazing. So therefore, we should be always absorbed and be in the moment. We are all living in the future. We are not in the moment. That's the problem. We have to be in the moment. So, when this kheer was getting distributed to all the group, one brahmachari, came to Maharaj. Maharaj, it's getting late, we can. So Maharaj told him, just as you give a stern look to him, and he says, this is the problem with you. You are not in the moment. We are in the dham. We should take the maximum advantage of being in the dham. We should get absorbed and do our bhajan here. What will you do by going into the hotel? You spend time here. When we are here, be here. That's what we all should learn from this pastime, that whenever we are there, we should just be there in that moment. When we are taking darshan, Radha Madan Mohan, we say prasadam queue is building up, I should go and take prasadam. Oh, we should just take darshan. That's what we should be. Our mind should not be in the prasadam. We are eating 3 times prasadam every ways. Anybody goes hungry in the temple? Nobody gets hungry. Nobody goes hungry in the temple. Our temple provides so much prasadam that I have not seen any other temple giving so much. So we should not worry about I will get prasadam or not. Even if you don't get, what's the problem? We are taking darshan, take darshan of Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Gaur Nitai, Radha, Madan Mohan. Absorb. When you are seeing, just see them. But we get distracted so much. That's the problem. We have to absorb in this. This is what we can learn from these kind of pastimes. Okay. So let's go to next verse number 7. So Lord Krishna resided in Hastinapur. Okay. So question. Give me the reason why Lord Krishna stayed in Hastinapur. Why he stayed back in Hastinapur? After the war. After the war, he stayed back, right? For many months. What are the reasons why he stayed back? Because we're going to read the verse. So before going, I'm asking. Because these things somewhere we already discussed in some of other sessions.
Please Pandavas.
Huh?
Please Pandavas.
To please Pandavas. Yes, Yudhishthira made a request that can you please stay, because he was feeling very, very sad that so many people have been killed and then he's ruling. So he was feeling sad about it. Yes. So please, Yudhishthira Maharaj and Pandavas. Yes, very nice. What are the reasons?
For guidance.
For guidance? Yeah, guidance is given here. That is where he would have given.
Is it for the horse sacrifice?
That was done. Rashtu Yagya was done and he was made king and all that. So that is all that.
Just reading here, it says for his sister.
Pacify
Yeah.
relatives. Pacify the relatives.
She lost.
Pacify relatives, yes, because Subhadra lost his son, only son, and was just married, right? And then he died. So obviously his sister was feeling very sad. So Krishna wanted to please her also. So he stayed, right? What is the other reason?
Take care of his devotees. Like
Yeah, that's what the Mataji told, that okay, he stayed to please Pandava, so that's taking care. What we read the previous chapter, what was that?
Bhishma.
Yeah, what did he do?
He wanted to praise Bhishma.
So he wanted to
Glorify Krishna.
He wanted to give the darshan to Vishmadev when he was leaving his body. So for that he stayed back. That's the reason, right? To show his special mercy on Vishmadev, to please Subhadra, and to oblige the request of Maharaj. So that's why he stayed back. So this is what Krishna does. And this is a very wonderful purpose. We'll see, we'll go back to the... Yeah, so let's read this verse. Ushitva Hastinapure Masankati Payan Hari Suridam cha Vishokaya Swasuscha Priya Kamyaya. Okay, who's going to read? Yes. What? You want to read better?
Sri Hari, Lord Shri Krishna resided at Hastinapur for a few months to pacify his relatives and please his own sister.
Yeah, Shubhadra.
Very Krishna.
So, so these are the reasons why he stayed back, because Krishna could have gone. Even battle was over and he had nothing, no other business. He came for the business on the request of Arjun. Please come and be with on our side. So he came and then he did that. So there is absolutely no other reason why he should now stay back. Right? But he stays. So Prabhupada writes in the purport the same thing that we just talked about. Krishna was to start for Dwarka his own kingdom after the battle of Kurukshetra, and Yudhishthira is being enthroned. But to oblige the request of Maharaj Yudhishthira and to show special mercy to Bhishma Dev, Lord Krishna stopped at Hastinapur, the capital of the Pandavas. And then, as some of you mentioned, the Lord decided to stay, especially to pacify the aggrieved king. It was very sad. Oh my God. Just for this piece of land, so many millions of people have been killed. He was feeling very sad. Today, people don't feel. They kill people to conquer some country, and they don't even bother about it. Like, in one of the movie which I was seeing long back, it says, if you kill a few, you are called murderer. If you kill many, you are a conqueror. The conqueror is like a higher, hierarchy, but you kill so many. And so this is the mentality in today's time. That you want to conquer me, you have to kill millions of people. So he's feeling very sad. All right. As well as to please Subhadra, sister of Lord Shri Krishna. Subhadra was especially to be pacified because she lost her only son, Abhimanyu, who was just married, and the boy left his wife, Uttara, mother of Maharaj Parikshit. The Lord is always pleased to satisfy his devotees in any capacity. So this is a very important point. See, this Prabhupada writes, Lord is always pleased to satisfy his own devotees in any capacity. To please devotee, Krishna will go to any extent. Then my devotee should feel happy. He became the chariot driver for Arjuna, just to please him. Okay, you choose me to be on your side. Okay, I'll be with you. So Krishna reciprocates. That's why this Mayavadi, the Lord has no form and all this, all nonsense. Because Krishna is Bhavagrahi. He will reciprocate in the way we will reciprocate with him, like human being. And then he says, for the Prabhupada writes, only his devotee can play the parts of his relatives. The Lord is absolute. So all the different devotees who take part, like Pandavas take part in the Leela. Yashoda, Mother Yashoda took part in the Leela. Hanumanji took part in the Leela. Everybody is taking part. Now, they know that, for example, excuse me, Sandipani Muni knows that Krishna and Balram are Bhagwan. But still he's playing a part of a teacher. I have to be that teacher, so I will do that. He's doing that. Vasishtha Muni knows that Lord Ram is a king, supreme person. But still he's playing a part of his guru. So he's doing it. So everybody plays a part. Right? But thinking that Krishna is supreme, but still they serve in the capacity, the role that is. It's like, when we do a drama, some senior person maybe become a servant and somebody has to say, hey, come here. So they are playing a part. In fact, Krishna will be very pleased when he is subordinate to his devotees. Krishna enjoys more when he is subordinate, not in his supreme powers. That is not Krishna likes. Krishna likes to serve the devotee. Yes.
So, Prabhu, one question relating to Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, we were just reading about Advaita Acharya, right? So, in that we know that he is also considered Supreme Personality of Godhead. But we read like his sons, or like his sons and daughters, like 3 of them were not so favorable to the
Yeah.
They weren't.
They're Mayavadi.
So,
yeah.
So how do you reconcile only his devotees can play the parts of his relatives, but in the case of Advaita Acharya, that wasn't the case?
No, so Advaita Acharya was playing in part with the Mahaprabhu. Right. His son is the next generation. So that may not be considered that. But direct participation is by the direct people who are there. Because next generation we see, they may or may not be pious. We have seen many examples where the pious family will have a demoniac son. And the demoniac father will have a pious son. Like Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. Like for example, Banasur. The Banasur was the Lord's, his own son. But because he got association of the bad, see, this is what all the scriptures are teaching. That regardless of your birth, regardless of your great father and mother, If you have a bad association, you will get corrupted. That's what we can learn from Manasu's life. And similarly, in Prahlad's life, if you are constantly remembering Krishna, then regardless of what is the situation around us, we can still be protected. These are the lessons we have to say. All these different examples and this coming in the Bhagavatam is to teach us that if we are in this situation, what we should do, right? How these great devotees saved themselves. What kind of activities did they do so they were able to come out of this situation? And if we don't do, even both types of examples are given, correct? Both are there. So now we have to see, we have to learn from either of them. And that's how we make ourselves successful. Yeah. So yeah, only his devotees can play part of his freedom. Nobody else can play part. Nobody else. Only devotees. So this is important. So how to please Krishna? Can we please Krishna in some way? What is the way to serve, please Krishna?
Surrender.
Service to him.
Service what? Service to whom?
Devotees.
No, devotees.
Devotees.
Devotees, serving to Krishna. Serving to Krishna will not help. Serving to devotees will please Krishna. Right? Because suppose say we want to give a lot of charity. There are a lot of businessmen who are giving more charity than all of us, than we can think of. So that money is not a great thing. But if you serve the Vaishnavas, serve the devotees, Krishna will see and Krishna will be very pleased with that. Therefore, we should, Guru Maharaj says, we should not try to be a great devotee. We should try to serve the great devotees. We should not try to become great. Oh, I'm great. I'm this, I'm that. Then we are gone. We're finished. We'll be nowhere in this world. As soon as we have some material desire, as soon as we have the pride that I am this, I am that, and then we are gone. In fact, over a period of time, we have seen in ISKCON, because devotee comes and goes in ISKCON also. It's not that devotees are fixed here. Nothing of that sort. Just because we are here doesn't mean 10 years after this, we all will be here as well. It is not guaranteed. It all depends on how fixed we are in our Krishna conscious practice. Okay. So, devotees who are arrogant, who are proud, who are getting angry, they don't sustain for a long time in Krishna conscious actually. But devotees who are very humble, submissive, with servitude, they stay, they continue. So we have to become like humble. Try to serve devotees, not being arrogant. Vacho vegam. The one who has control over the tongue will be able to sustain and retain in this organization, in the Krishna conscious practice. But otherwise, it will just slip away. And as we know, we learn things in two ways. One, when we fully absorb ourselves and see the pleasure of that, right? And then we see some great devotees who are 100% surrendered. How great they are. They are feeling so joy. So that will inspire me to absorb. Second thing is, if we don't practice and we lose it, after many years, we think, oh, I had this opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness, but I didn't do it seriously and sincerely. Now I feel very sad. So we value at that time. So do we want to value while we are in this, or we want to value after it is gone, right? So we have to value when we are here by practicing sincerely, by staying among the devotee circle, by practicing these activities, all the sadhana, all the angas which are mentioned, we can do it very nicely in whatever capacity that we have and keep increasing. We have to intensity of our bhajan should go up and up and up and up. We should not become like, we become steady. We were talking about some example, I don't know where we spoke about, during Chaitanya Charitamrita probably, that if somebody is running every day for half an hour, after 1 year, does that half an hour going to help him in his, with that body is used to it, 30 will not help. Then you have to increase 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Then the body will have effect. Similar our bhajan. If you're chanting 4 round, 8 round, whatever it is, no, we have to increase. We have to go up higher. Go to 16 round. Okay, we have reached 16. Now what to do? We have already reached. No, we have to go up. On Ekadasi, we can read, we can chant more. On Janmashtami we can chant more. On some tithi we can chant more. Like that we have to increase bhajan. And I'm telling you, dear devotees, that time will expand for those who are very sincere in the bhajan. Time will expand. You will see that you have suddenly got more time to do certain things. Otherwise, life becomes very busy, chaotic, and will not get any time. So we'll cover one last verse, and then we'll stop here. So we'll just go to the verse. This we cover, right? So now Krishna is departing. So verse number 8. Amantra chabhyanyugnatah parishvaja vivadyatam aruroha ratham kaischit parishvakto vivaditah. Yes, Priyansh.
Afterwards, when the Lord asked permission to depart and the king gave it, the Lord offered his respects to Maharaj Yudhishthir and by going down at his feet, and the king embraced him. After this, the Lord, being embraced by others and receiving their obeisances, got into his chariot. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here, some wonderful details are mentioned. So what do you think? Maharaj, what Lord did? Lord bowed down to Yudhishthir. Because why? Yudhishthir was elder. So, Krishna is even showing this custom. That when there is a senior to us, we have to bow down. Right? Then what did he do? He embraced. Who he embraced? He embraced Bhim and Arjun. Because they were at the same age. So he embraced them like his own friends. And then Sahadev and Nakul, they bowed down to Krishna because they were younger to him. You see how this is how the customs are maintained. So this is all teaching us that we should also practice this kind. When you have a senior person coming in, we should bow down to them. It doesn't matter who they are. We should bow down. So here, Prabhupada writes in the purport, Maharaj Yudhishthir was the elder cousin of Lord Krishna, and therefore, while departing from him, the Lord bowed down at the king's feet. King's feet. The king embraced him as a younger brother, although the king knew perfectly well that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Still, he played his part. Yudhishthira Maharaj played a part. Okay, he's bowed down. He did not say, no, Krishna, you are Bhagavan, why are you doing it? No, he played his part. Okay, this is how it should be done, right? And then, here Prabhupada writes, this is what I was just mentioning earlier. The Lord takes pleasure when some of his devotees accept him as less important in terms of love. Means they are superior. Krishna likes this. Krishna is loving this kind of pastimes. That's why he is born as a child to Mother Yashoda and Nandmata. And he's doing all the pastimes. He's getting afraid. Somebody who is never getting up by him, the fear personification, will get afraid. He's getting afraid. In fact, someday we'll talk about all the contradiction which comes in the Damodar Lila. There are so many contradictions in Damodar Lila, one after another. Maybe even Kartik month begin, we'll just talk about it. It will start in 2 weeks. So we'll reserve for that. No one is greater than or equal to the Lord, but he takes pleasure in being treated as younger than his devotees. So Krishna becomes very happy with that. These are all transcendental pastimes of the Lord. The impersonalists cannot enter into the supernatural roles played by the devotee of the Lord. So all the impersonalists who don't consider Krishna as a person, they cannot take part, obviously, because they don't see Krishna as a Bhagavan. They don't see Krishna as a person. They think Krishna is some form. And then he comes and then the form goes away. So he doesn't have any akar. But Bhagavatam describes such a wonderful description of Lord's lotus feet, his face, his body, and all that. Where is this coming from? Isn't it? But since they don't understand, they just stop like that. Thereafter, Bhim and Arjun embraced the Lord because they were of the same age. But Nakul and Sahadev bowed down before the Lord because they were younger than he. So now departing, and we will read from verse number 9 and 10 from next week onwards. Okay, so we'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Any
Hare
question,
Krishna.
comment, or any corrections anybody has? Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hare
Robert.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes.
Mataji,
Yes, yes, we'll do Kirtan. Okay. Huh? What is that? No, you can take, no, we have, this is there, wireless. We can take this one, go there. पूरा ही लेके जाओ. It's better. आप लोगों को दो ऐसे बातें